Hello.
1 second.
Okay. Hello. Welcome to me making a video late at night. It's not even really that late. It's 10. But I feel like the vibe was right, you know? I don't know. So this might be kind of a, I don't know, weird video. It's gonna be, I still can't decide if I'm gonna post it or not because I feel like it's gonna be a little like, it's personal, you know? And I don't know if it's an overshare yet. I don't know. I'll get some opinions and we'll see. But I wanted to talk about it because I feel like people will be able to relate. Also, I'm gonna be reading what I'm saying because I have a really hard time putting sentences together, and if I don't have what I'm saying in front of me, then a lot of the times, I can't speak English. Most of the time, I will lose what I'm saying like halfway through. I'll straight up just forget. So if you see me like reading, my eyes moving, sorry if that bothers you, but I just have a hard time putting sentences together. Okay, so this is obviously about My Chemical Romance. I really want to go to an MCR concert. And I don't know if that's ever going to be possible for a lot of reasons. The main one being that I'm sick, both mentally and physically, and it has impaired my life beyond belief. I had 2 golden years of semi-health. I was like the healthiest I've been since probably about 3 years old, and I was still experiencing a lot of symptoms. And then I got sick again. I am back in the autoimmune mental illness spiral, and I have been since about October of 2019. That's when I relapsed. I really want to see MCR in concert, literally like so much it hurts, which sounds weird, I know, but just hear me out. And I'm like painfully aware that I'll probably never see them in person for a number of reasons, like, sorry, I'm scrolling, because of the cost and because they're not coming pretty much near me. I mean, they're coming kind of near me, but not near enough, and just a bunch of other reasons, and you know, they might not ever go on tour again and all that. It makes me really sad, like weirdly sad, and I've been trying to figure out why, because I love a lot of bands. Like Fall Out Boy was the first band that I discovered. It was the first band I chose to listen to. You know, as a kid, when you finally make your own decision on music, that's what I chose to listen to. And then, you know, Panic and 21 Pilots, My Chemical Romance, all them. And Fall Out Boy is a huge comfort for me. They are just, I love them a lot. And when I can't really like figure out who I am, when I'm struggling mentally to figure out who I am, and I feel like I've lost myself, you know, listening to MCR and Fall Out Boy are kind of like the bands that'll help me feel like myself again. But it doesn't hurt as much to think about how I'll probably also never see Fall Out Boy in person, you know? And I was trying to figure out why, because it sounds ridiculous, you know? It sounds like it's just a band, you know, grow up, whatever, it doesn't matter, stop being dramatic. And you know, I know that. I know I sound dramatic, but hear me out. So I've been pretty isolated for a long time. Right now, I currently don't have many friends and I don't see them often, and I have kind of always been that way. When I was in middle school, I was on a volleyball team and I had one friend on that team, and pretty much everyone else didn't like me, and I don't blame them because I was weird, you know? It still sucked though. I tried to make friends, I did, but every time I tried to talk to someone, they would look at me with this face like I was crazy. They almost looked disgusted at the fact that I was trying to talk to them, and I had no idea why. I remember I tried to talk about things that they would talk about, things that I knew they could relate to. I consciously mimicked their speech patterns to not to mimic them, but to fit in, you know? One time I remember, I think I said something like, I brought something up that someone else had said before that they had all agreed with, and I brought it up again and I agreed with it, and then they still looked at me like I said something so out of pocket, and I was so confused. I could not figure out what I was doing wrong. And I know that this look was real. It was not just like my social anxiety making me feel that way, because that one friend that I had, you know, she didn't really talk to many people on the team too because she was experiencing the same thing. I don't want to, like, they weren't bad people, you know. I'm not blaming them or you know, trying to shame them for anything, you know, like it's middle school. Everybody's middle school experience sucks. But I mean, that was my experience, you know, and I'm sure they all had their own stuff. It was very isolating though, and again, I was weird, but it was just very isolating. I was really mentally ill, still am really mentally ill, and I was just anxious and insecure, and I felt so different, and I know that's like everybody's middle school experience, but it just sucked, you know? I was too weird for them or something, and it was kind of awful. But my one friend on the team at the time, we were friends because we had similar interests, and one of those interests was emo bands. I think I introduced her to Fall Out Boy, and we both were like super into it. It was great, and I'm glad I had that friend to relate to stuff over. I mean, since middle school and throughout the years, I was alone, and I felt really alone, and I am alone a lot, but I just felt so out of place. And so from 6th grade to 10th, I was homeschooled. Oh my gosh, homeschoolers can be mean. I know all kids can be mean, but homeschoolers are a different type. And that was just another like place where I felt pretty alone. I didn't really make friends, and a lot of it was my fault. I was, again, weird, and at a certain point I just started pushing everybody away because I was like, yeah, I don't like it here. The whole point of that is just, I've been out of place, I guess, for a long time. I felt out of place for a long time, and music became my safe place. I felt, this is where it gets really depressing, I felt like I was nothing, like I was a waste of a life, like nobody liked me. I couldn't be around my family because I have misophonia. Being around people in general is just really hard, and I felt like I was just too different, like I couldn't relate to anybody, especially with all of the mental health things I was going through, which to this day I still don't know anybody in person who experiences the same thing that I do, and even in like the group of people that have the same disorders that I do, I still like feel just so different, you know, just so out of place. And I don't know if that's just my own social anxiety at this point. I mean, definitely at least a little bit, but so anyway, with music, with My Chemical Romance, I found a safe place. A place away from the judgment of others, away from the people who made faces when I talked to them, or talked to me as a joke, or people who didn't understand, and not only away from people who didn't understand, but it was like the lyrics and the people of the fandom kind of could understand what I was going through. You know, maybe not exactly, and I can't, you know, relate to everyone else, but feeling alone, I mean, that definitely was, you know, understood. And I know this sounds dramatic, but it's how I felt and how I feel. And look at how many people adore MCR. Look at how many people find solace in their music. I know I have, and I finally felt like I had an identity away from the crazy, sick, weird one. And even if I was the crazy, sick, weird one, I was welcome in the community. It was okay that I was crazy and sick, you know? I was welcome despite my differences. And they talked about so many things that resonated with me, like hearing Gerard Way yell, "You never resort to violence, there's nothing worth taking your life over." That just, it meant so much to me, like so much more than I can even explain. And I know it sounds silly, but hearing this band say, "You matter even if you're different," it made me feel that way. It made me feel like I mattered. Also, I felt like even though if I was like a bit of an outcast or something like that, there were people who understood, and it was okay. And also the music is just amazing. I remember so many nights, because I have add to the list very bad insomnia, or I had, now I have like meds that help, but I would be up at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and I'd be listening to My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy and listening to the lyrics and just like hanging on to all of the lyrics. And there was a very large period of time where I couldn't sleep if I wasn't listening to music, and they helped so much. It's funny the kind of music you can fall asleep to, you know? You know, when like some revenge song comes on and Gerard Way's screaming and I'm like, peace. Finally, I can sleep. Or Pete Wentz screaming in the distance. That's a meme from 2011. I have a lot more experiences of feeling like outside and alone. It's not just homeschool and volleyball, like in my family or in any friend group I join in school, in the community of people with the same disorders that I have, you know, and it's not like their fault. I'm not blaming other people, you know. It's not, I don't think it's anybody's fault. It's just how it is, you know. This band is one of the only things that has made me feel less alone and okay about who I am. Made me feel like I'm worth something, or that I deserve a life, you know, and I deserve a life where I'm happy, or as happy as I can be, and that it's okay if I'm different, you know, it's okay. It also was just like a form of self-expression for me, because up until my junior year of high school, I didn't have any ways to express myself physically. Now I have this channel and I have art because I started drawing again in my junior year. I couldn't draw for a long time. I couldn't even hold a pencil without having a panic attack, so there's that. But I have art now, and I play the ukulele and the guitar, and I would love to try and express myself through like fashion and makeup or hair, but I can't right now. Before my junior year, I wrote stories sometimes, but I don't know if that counts. But other than that, I had like nothing except for music, listening to music. And I'm so glad that I was able to have that. You know, that was so important, and it got me through a lot. I've been through a lot of stuff, and if I did not have the music that I have, oh my gosh, I would have completely lost my mind. I would not be here today, you know? I've tried to like leave my emo, I need to stop saying like, I've tried to leave my emo phase many times for multiple reasons, just because I feel like I need to grow up or grow out of it, and frankly to try to please other people, but I have not been able to yet. And I don't know if I even want to. Nothing makes me feel more like me than listening to these bands. Nothing makes me feel better like listening to these bands. And I know if I need them, they're there and they're safe, and I'll feel more like myself and I'll feel welcome listening to them. And it's crazy how a band can make you feel that way, you know? And sometimes I worry, like, am I weird for feeling this way? Am I dramatic? Do I have the mentality of a middle schooler? But I don't think so, because look at how many people adore MCR. Look at how many people continue to join the community even though they haven't made music for like 10 years, you know? It's an impact. They've made such a huge impact. I follow some artists on Instagram who almost exclusively draw fan art for My Chemical Romance, and all of their art is really good too. I'm always so impressed by the way that people can they can draw like a blob, but they'll still give it the essence of Gerard Way, and I'm always so impressed by that. I know it's a little cliche to say that a band saved your life, but I truly feel like I would not have made it without them, you know, and without Fall Out Boy. But I've definitely found a lot of solace and identity and community in My Chemical Romance, even though I haven't even really talked to that many people who also listen to MCR. But like seeing them online, you know, it's just like an automatic, oh, I know you, I relate to you, you know, which maybe that's stupid, maybe I'm over dramatic. I don't know. Maybe someone will relate to this. Let me know if you relate to this, please, because I need to feel less alone. I feel like as much as life has chipped away at me, chip and chips continue to chip away at me and who I am. As much as I might try and change myself to please others, when I'm listening to them, I don't have to do that, you know? I don't have to change myself to make other people more comfortable, you know? It's come as you are, and you're welcome, even if you're different. And I feel more like a whole person, you know? Less like pieces of a people, but more whole. Or at least that I deserve to feel like a whole person. That I shouldn't have to change myself to please others, you know? I don't know. Maybe people will relate to this, maybe not. The whole reason why I'm making this is maybe someone else will find this and feel less alone. Maybe someone will relate to this. But please know that if you do feel alone, you're not the only one. And if you feel like an outcast, you know, you're not alone in that. I could play I'm Not Okay music video right now, but you get it. And I'm sorry if this kind of came off as like a pity party. I don't mean for it to. I just wanted to talk about how much MCR has positively impacted my life, but I also like want to keep it real, and I'm not a fan of toxic positivity, and I feel like I don't think I could articulate how much they've impacted my life without giving at least one example of the bad and then the better. You know what I mean? Anyway, I hope you're doing okay, and if today was bad, I hope tomorrow is better, and please remember that you are not ever alone. Go listen to MCR. Or Fall Out Boy. Okay. Oh, thanks for watching. Bye!